Thank you very much, Rigji. Asante sana. Please, let's take our seats. First, on my own behalf and on behalf of the government of Kenya, let me welcome all of you to this very important concert occasion. Let me disclose that I did not come to Mombasa for the festival as I had been invited by Professor Christopher here Odhiambo and his team through the ministry, and it was intentional because I wanted you to come here so that we can set a new standard. And we can raise the bar on matters, arts, and the creative industry in general. As has been said, what has happened today here has never happened in State House. And I wanted us to begin there so that you begin to appreciate that the creatives are serious business and we treat it as such as the government of Kenya. Going forward, this is not going to be the usual. I did promise you 3 years ago that we are going to give new impetus to the space around sports, youth, creatives, and the whole industry around art. And that's why I am really happy today to preside over the state concert for the finalists of the Kenya National Drama and Film Festival. I have had occasion to watch your performances in the past before COVID-19, that I think was in Bungoma. I also did in 2018 and 2019, and I have first-hand experience of the quality of your performances. And I have no doubt in my mind that it is world-class. I have watched with satisfaction the latent talent, and I am convinced that there is a lot to achieve in performing arts. I have enjoyed the performance. We have been educated on a lot of pertinent and contemporary issues that continue to affect our society. Drama operates at the level of aesthetics and morality. Some of the themes presented here touch society to the core, and many of the performances here have spoken to very critical aspects of what we are as a society. I listened to the girls from Matuga in Kwale, and they are speaking to the core of what is hurting our nation, especially our young people. Many young people in Kenya today go through many challenges. Parents, religious leaders, government is seized with the real challenge of millions of our young people who get lured into drugs, and we lose talent, we lose opportunity, and we lose human capital that can drive our country into the future. Continue to demonstrate what is wrong with what happens when our young people get involved in drugs. Continue to expose what's happening in all our spheres of life, whether it's in school, whether it's in places of work, or indeed anywhere else. I was very, very happy to see the girls from Matuka do their thing. That was great. Pongezi. The banditry in the up north, we got to learn that women can actually stop war. And using what looks weak, they have managed to bring to an end situations that would otherwise cost life and destroy property. I think it is important for us to know the strength of what society can be if we marshal all our assets and resources, whether they be men or women. I am very encouraged that through the drama from Santa Maria, was it? Santa Maria, congratulations, you did a wonderful job. Tuwapigie makofi jamani. And I want to promise our children in those areas, in the North Rift, that the government of Kenya will make sure that the challenge that our children go through, many schools have remained closed for many years. I promise them that listening to the girls from Santa Maria, the government of Kenya, as I undertook to the nation, is inspired to make sure that all our children go to school. We have mobilized. I saw the girls here say, whether you have informed the police or the army or the Air Force. I want to tell you, we have mobilized the police and the army to go to the North Rift to make sure all our kids go back to school. And they will be there. It doesn't matter for months, even for years, until we sort out the challenge of banditry, until we make sure that we open every school, and until we make sure that every child is in class. I also listened to my good friends from Vihiga, I think, SSA. Was it SSA? I listened to SSA and their performance. And I heard them say something like, Hakuna kazi, which is what it is. That's the society we live in. In fact, there are two very important, and I think the most popular, signages. One is Umbwa Kali, the other one is Hakuna kazi. It is time, as a country, as a society, as a people, as a nation, that we begin to think about the investment we are making in our education, in our young people. I was asking the minister here earlier. We spend a third of our budget, 650 billion shillings every year, in educating our children, in primary school, in secondary school, in our TVETs, in our universities. Yet, after we have invested 650 billion shillings every year, we have refused to think what will happen to this huge resource when they get out of either school or college or university. That is why we have 5 million young people today who do not have jobs, yet we have spent huge amounts of resources to get them where they have got. And it is the reason why in this year's budget, we are asking ourselves, how are we going to create 5 million jobs? How are we going to make meaning of the 650 billion shillings we spend every year to educate our children? How do we allow such huge resource, educated at great expense, to go to waste because we have not organized how they are going to get jobs, how they are going to deploy their knowledge, how they are going to deploy their talent? And that is why we have a plan on the employment of the young people in our budget this year, so that SSA will not have to tell us hakuna kazi. It is the moment that we begin to create those jobs. I also have listened very carefully on the girls who said Sana si manga, or something like that, you know? Wajia, from Wajia. Tuwapige makofi jameni. You know? That we should be able to appreciate that some of our children have talents in other areas. Some of our children, when they come forward, when they step forward, for those of us who are parents, for our community, that they are good artists, that they have talents in different, gifted in a different way, that we should not treat them as though ni watu manga. And I can confidently say, in my team, I have many who are graduates who have been in this space. Chipukizi is here, you know. For those who think Chipukizi is doing this for fun, I want to tell you I pay Chipukizi. And he is not cheap. This guy, you know. The Secretary General of the ruling party, Cleo Malala, is a product of art. KJ here, a member of parliament, second term, is it? Second term member of parliament of Dagoretti South, is a product of art and creative economy. Dennis Itumbi here, that young man, is a product of the creative space. You know, so we have many who have graduated from that space, and I want to tell our young girls, young children here today that you too have a future if you can perfect, if you're disciplined, if you can perfect the arts space. And it is the reason why I was deliberate when forming government on matters creative economy. I did consolidate many of the art issues around the Ministry of Sports and Art under Ababu Namwamba. But I also gave him instructions that we cannot leave our children behind. That is why we are spending money from the Sports and Arts Fund in this drama, in this festival, in this concert, because they form a very integral and very important part of how we can develop this whole industry from the bottom going up. When we start with our children in school, we are sure to build a solid foundation for them to explore their talents into opportunities that will give them the chance to be their best, to display their talent, and to be the great men and women that all artists anywhere in the world are. I must say that I am very clear in my mind, even as I watched this whole concert and what we witness here. And it is the reason why Talanta Hela is our program. It is the program that will give us the opportunity to monetize, to commercialize, and to profile positively our men and women in the creative industry. I have told my good friend Ababu Namwamba that it is not going to be business as usual. Yeah? Drama is not just going to be what we see here and then it ends here. We have to think beyond what it is. My suggestion to the ministries concerned here is what was the Permanent Presidential Commission on Music should actually be changed. I am proposing that you change it to the Permanent Creative Economy Commission so that we can bring all art, including music and all the others, into one ecosystem, and we can be able to rally government effort, private sector effort in the same direction so that we can derive value, we can monetize, we can commercialize, and we can give the best possible chance for those who are talented in this space to explore their best possibilities. Let me also say that I am truly happy that listening to Professor Odhiambo and what they are doing. Professor, I want to promise you, you have my 100% support. Because it means that students will leave high school already armed with some knowledge, both theory and skill in the arts. We are lucky that we are implementing a school curriculum that recognizes performing arts, music, dance, drama, and film as learning components. The Ministry of Education and that of Youth Affairs and Art and Sports should fast-track the development of state-of-the-art facilities and talent centers to create an environment that will enhance the growth of talent. The ministry has already told me they are working on a master plan on the whole of the ecosystem around sports and art, so that we will know where do we have our film studios, where are we going to have our academies, how are we going to deploy our stadia, and how are they going to look, so that we not only have stadia that can provide facilities for football, for athletics, but also for the creative industry, all in one ecosystem. And I hope, Ababu, that is the context in which the master plan is being worked on. I want to also underscore the role of the private sector in growing the arts. Talent growth should not be the preserve of the Ministry of Education or Ministry of Youth or indeed government. It must be a whole of society approach, including the private sector. I am looking forward to the private sector stepping forward and working with us and providing opportunities and deploying some of the resources they have, whether it is CSR, whether it is sponsorship, in ensuring that we grow this space around the talent around our young people. Let me also say, last year, our Madaraka Day last year was themed around arts. It was themed around the digital economy. And I am very happy that we have our friends from Google, they are here, from YouTube, they are here, from Facebook, they are here. Are they there? Ebu wasimame tuwapige makofi. These good people and the organizations they represent, please take your seats. These good people and the organizations they represent have come through for our young people. Last year, when I engaged Google, when I engaged YouTube, and when we engaged Facebook, Kenya did not have the opportunity to monetize our talents and our creative economy. I want to announce that because of that conversation, and we must thank these people, tuwapigie makofi hawa wangwana jameni. Today, Kenya is among the 5 countries in our continent that we can monetize our content. From February this year, you can register in Kenya. In the past, you couldn't register in Kenya. You had to go and register somewhere in Europe or somewhere in America. Today, you can register as a content creator in Kenya, and you can monetize your content. That is why we have all these young people today in that space. And I am very happy that Facebook is now working with us. They have agreed to provide free training for content creators who want to work with them, especially in the creative space. And I want to request these people to accelerate the journey, especially Facebook, to monetization. Maybe able to apige makofi tena. Do you wish to say something? I can give you a minute. Let me ask the good people just to say something. to these great people.
Thank you, Your Excellency. With all due respect, all protocols observed, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Martin Degwa, and I'm the Director of Public Policy for East and Horn of Africa at Meta. Meta is a brand name for Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger, and these are some of the logos we saw earlier in the presentations. We are very concerned and care about the investment in the region and specifically in Kenya as well, particularly in making sure that we support the creative economy. So we're really excited to support the vision that you have as a government, but also to see how we can work to make sure that we bring more awareness on the tools that are available that can be used to do that, but to do that also safely. We've had a very good presentation by the students here around bullying and harassment, and these are things we actually see as violations of policies that we have on platform. So we are delighted to see how we can bring that awareness in embedding those resources within work we will do with KICD and TVET to bring more digital skills trainings to those, but also to advance that also to the other users who are not necessarily in those institutions. So we're working together with government to make sure that we see more and more people take up this, get more awareness and skills around how to use tools safely, to scale their businesses, to scale their craft, but also to do so safely and to not harm one another. Thank you so much.
My good brother.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name is Michael Murunge. I lead government affairs and public policy for Google and YouTube here in East Africa, based here in Kenya. Your Excellency, first of all, YouTube, of course, we are very happy to be providing a free platform on which creatives can build audiences and grow their brands. YouTube Creator Academy is also free. Your Excellency, like you mentioned during when you hosted us during Jamhuri Day, our Managing Director for YouTube for this region, Alex Okosi, you challenged him and you told him that we need to do more as an organization, as private sector to support creatives. I'm glad to report, Your Excellency, that in the week after next, we are bringing over 124 worldwide renowned YouTubers to the country during the graduation ceremony of our YouTube Black Founders Fund. And what's more, Your Excellency, we are going to be requesting, this is going through your relevant ministers and cabinet secretaries, Your Excellency, for another hosting here so that Alex Okosi can come and deliver what he has been researching based on your ask, and then you can receive it, Your Excellency. For now, I will not say what that is, but I'm sure Your Excellency is going to be something that answers to your ask for us. Thank
Wonderful.
You so much.
Tuwapige makofi tena. The people in the creative industry. My good brother, let me tell you, I will not remove this stage. I will wait for until he arrives. Well, I don't know when you said he will be coming, so that we can give him, and we will roll out a bigger carpet for him. Asante sana. So again, I want to say that YouTube has been a partner with us. When we did ask them that they allow Kenyans to register from Kenya and to monetize, it was a difficult decision. But again, let me say thank you very much, because they have come through for us. That is why we have Njugush around. That's why we have Butita around. These are our great artists who today are monetizing their content. Pongezi sana, gentlemen. Tuwapige makofi. Those two young men you see there, they are making more money than my salary. Those guys. Musiwaone hivi ati wamevaa sijui t-shirt namna gani. Those guys are serious entrepreneurs. Wapige makofi tena. Congratulations for trailblazing. Congratulations for being the example to many of our young people, and knowing that the creative space, the YouTube space, is available for jobs for our young people. Makofi tena kwao. Asante sana. Let me also say that as we do this, we are opening new opportunities. Remember what I said, that we invest 650 billion Kenya shillings every year in our education. We must think through it. It's not enough to spend that money educating our children. it is also important for us to know what is this end product going to do. And that is why we are working on all fronts. The Ministry of ICT has been tasked to work with industry. We are today distributing 22,000 computers in our TVETs. We will be doing another phase. We are discussing with the Council of Governors so that we can also work with our vocational and training institutes at the county level. The chair of ICT here knows that we have agreed that every member of parliament must also work with us so that we have an ICT hub in every ward. We are rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber around Kenya in the next 3 years. And it is because we want our young people to access digital jobs, number one, and we have millions of digital jobs available. Kenyans can work from Kenya, working in America, Europe, Asia, and many other areas. Number two, we want to make it easier for our content creators using access to technology. And the good news, again, I want to tell you, is that as we roll out the fiber optic around Kenya and provide internet, we're going to have 25,000 hotspots around Kenya where internet is going to be free. We have done the first 50. By 2025, the Ministry of ICT promises me that by 2025, end of 2025, we will have 25,000 free internet spots in the Republic of Kenya where people can work without having to pay. You can work online. You can create your content online without having to pay. And we are working together towards monetizing the whole space around creatives. I know when I say monetizing, I know the taxman is also listening. You know, the tax fellows are listening. Whenever they see some people making money in some corner, they arrive. So I know that there is a proposal in this year's budget on digital content, and creators are making a statement. I have told the ICT committee and the finance committee to work on it. Let's give them a bit more space. I think let us allow them kidogo wajipange. Lakini baadaye sisi wote tutalipa ushuru. Unajua huyu mtu wa ushuru akisikia kuna mtu anatengeneza pesa mahali fulani, anatembelea yeye, anamwambia hii pesa inatembea. So we are going to work together in that space, but we have heard you, and we are going to work with you so that we make sure that that does not work against what you want to do. Again, we are bringing down the cost of telephony, and we are also reducing excise on the internet, again, so that our creatives and the whole ecosystem around online work, online engagement can be a lot more easier and a lot more cheaper. We are also digitizing all government services because we want to make government efficient, we want to make government effective so that you do not have to walk and queue in government offices. It will be possible shortly, as I said yesterday, for you to engage government, to pay for government services, to access government services from the comfort of your home, using your device. You do not have to go to any government office. You can engage government in whatever manner. And that's why we are putting all government services online. I have committed that by the end of this year, we will have all government services online. You can access, you can pay, you can transact with the government of Kenya from the comfort of your home or office using whatever device. And as I committed, we are also going to ensure that a properly enabled, either 4G or 5G enabled device is made in Kenya and at an affordable price so that more people can work around it. Let me also say that we recognize the great potential among our artists and has identified the creative space as a major foundation of job creation and economic activity, as I have explained to you. The performing arts provide an inexhaustible spring from which future generations can feed. The government will work with stakeholders in an effort to achieve these ideas and work with everybody from the bottom going up. I know it has been said here that Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development is curating all these services, all these production, you know, and all the content that is being profiled here. I want to tell you, my good brother, it's not just enough to curate. It is time to digitize. It is time, and I want you to work with the Ministry of ICT. This content can actually be monetized, and it should be monetized, so that the people who performed here, look, didn't Riara really go out of their way with the eyes of it? Tuwapigie makofi hao warembo. You guys are awesome. You are just amazing. You know, when I watched this, I shed some tears because at some point I thought those girls were so mean. You know, until they spoke finally, I was wondering, surely, how can these girls be so brutal? But it speaks to what society is and how we can bring it out using this creative space. I am sure our friends in Google, I am sure our friends in Facebook and YouTube agree with me that that content was international. You agree? Pongezi tena. Can we clap for those girls? You guys were phenomenal. You were just something else. So pongezi sana, and that speaks to the kind of talent, the kind of creative talent that is in Kenya. Explain to me, good people, why, can you compare what Riara girls presented here with what we watch on TV, Afro Cinema Continues? Are they on the same level? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I say that without fear of any contradiction. Our girls are superior. They are playing at a different level. Ni kweli ama si kweli? You know, whatever you watch in those cinema things with witchcraft and I don't know what and some ugly stuff, these girls are special. Wapigie makofi there. Yeah, asanteni sana, girls. Thank you very much. And congratulations to Riara. You have really made a presentation and a half. And that is the kind of content that will speak to us as a nation on our TV screens. That is the kind of content that people should be paying. We should be monetizing that kind of content. And therefore, my instructions are all what has been done over the years should not just be curated, but the Ministry of ICT will work with KICD to make sure that they are available online and they are monetized so that the owners of that product can access and can get a monetary gain out of it. It will also speak to where we are going as a nation. Let me again say congratulations to all of you. I am truly, truly grateful, and to commit to all of you that we will continue to invest in this space around our children. This year, we have hired about 35,000 teachers to make sure that all our girls and boys in school are taught. We will possibly maybe hire a similar number next year. We are working on the resources so that we can also re-engineer the whole space around our competence-based education. This year, again, we have deployed additional resources in our TVET institutions. The request was we hire another 3,000 TVET tutors. We've hired 1,300. We will hire another 1,700 later this year so that we can not only teach in our TVETs, so that we can have the likes of Sese from Vihiga, continue to trailblaze and other TVET institutions. And again, we developed a new funding model because there is one resource we have as a country, and I have said it many times, it is our human capital. That is the biggest asset that we have as a country. And to sharpen that asset is our men and women who teach from primary school to our universities. And we must make that ecosystem work optimally. It must work as it should. Our universities were saddled with huge debts, close to 60 billion. Now we have a new funding model, and I am very happy that that sector will now be sorted out. We have increased the resources going to our TVET institutions from about 5.2 billion shillings to about 10 billion every year. We're also increasing the resources going to our universities from about 44 billion to 82 billion every year, because we want our young people in school, in college, in our universities to get the best education that we can support as a government. And it is because by sharpening our human capital, we are giving ourselves our best opportunity to succeed as a country. And that is why, again, besides putting all the resources required in our education sector, we must also think about the product that comes out of our education system and prepare for them. Make sure that there is a deliberate, intentional, practical mechanism of absorbing the millions of young people that join the labor market every year by making sure that we have a credible and practical plan. And that is my promise to the people of Kenya, that we will have a credible, practical plan to absorb the millions of young people that get out of college every year. The Executive Committee, under the dynamic leadership of good Professor Joseph Odhiambo, deserves special commendation for effectively executing this task. Wapige makofi huyu mungwana. Na the whole team of adjudicators, directors, producers, and everybody else in between, pongezi sana. Congratulations. Tuwapige makofi tena jameni. These are great people. I commend also the work of the government agencies that have supported this year's drama and film festival, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, the Communication Authority of Kenya, the Kenya Universities and College Central Placement Service. I saw the great lady here. Brook East Africa, the IEBC, Brook are there, pongezi sana, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, amongst others. And I want to say thank you very much for the exemplary work you're doing. You have all our support. I also wish to thank the Ministry of Education for organizing an all-inclusive and exhaustive co-curriculum calendar, including on the performing art. I know for a while there has been funding challenges, but I now promise you, because we are changing, we created a fund called the Sports and Arts Fund, but along the way, it was amended to include other things. I promise this industry that we will remove all other things and leave that fund to fund this sector, because this sector is important. Thank you very much, good people, all of you, and to all our students. I know those who are here and those who are not here. Next year, we are going to raise the bar again. si ndio? Mtakuwa tayari kuja tena tusherekee pamoja. And let me say the following, that even going into next year, we shouldn't be looking for any other talent even for our national holidays. I want a section of the performance in this drama and music festival to participate in our national holidays. I hope the ministry concerned, Bwana DP, you will make sure that that is implemented. Kabisa. Wewe ndio unatusaidia kupanga wale watu wanakujanga huko. So make sure sasa hawa watoto wetu wako na wimbo mzuri, wako na mambo mazuri, so that they become part of the ecosystem of our national celebration, because indeed they are heroes in their own way. So nimeshukuru sana kwa kupata hii nafasi na kwenu kuja kunitembelea. Na washukuru, mumenijaa sana nyinyi. I mean, you guys are just amazing. And I am truly, truly grateful. And congratulations to everybody who has made this work. Congratulations to our girls from Joytown and the good people from Joytown. Your performance was great. Asanteni sana. It just brings the whole of society into this ecosystem. Asante sana. May God bless you. As you go back home, pelekeni salamu zetu kwa wazazi wenu, kwa mashule yenu, to all the places where you've come from, and safe travels as you go, and let's meet again next year. God bless you. Thank you.
One more round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for that wonderful, encouraging keynote speech in regards to our arts and film industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, at this point, we're going to wind up with the national anthem. So if there's anybody who is seated and can stand, kindly let's be upstanding for the national anthem. After that, Your Excellency, with your permission, I know we've really overshot the time. There had been a request just to have a few pictures, if you'll have